Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to start a new little project fusing weeping willow trees, because you might remember that I had already one of these projects running, but with the dry summer of last year, well, willows, they don't like dry conditions, so most of the little trees died and this is the only one that's left. So I planted it in a pot with just pot ground, and well, it's growing, so it's okay. It's a really thin, small little thing, but I thought, okay, let's just keep it that way, let him grow, and then I'll see what happens. But of course I want to start a new project, and I was happy to find a few cuttings. They were under trash, someone who cut back his willow, I guess, put them outside, and I said, yeah, that's what I need. So I put them in a bucket of water for a week or 3-4, I think, and so that's the result. So now I'm going to plant them, but I'm going to do that in quite a different way as last time. So let's start. I bundled the trees to make it a little easier, but on second thoughts it's now going to make things a little more difficult. But okay, it's not very tight, I can easily remove the wire. I'm trying not to damage the roots, would be a shame. But this is going to work just fine. I'm not sure that every of these cuttings rooted, but I try to work with what I have, and of course if I can keep them alive, then I can take cuttings from the new growth, etc. So this one didn't make it, okay. This one didn't make it, and these two didn't make it either, so this is good. This is okay. This is good. See all the white things, these are roots that are about to emerge, so that's very good. This is good too. Yeah, well, I have roots here, but not on the lower part, so maybe I'll just cut this piece off, and this looks like it is a dead piece, so I don't need that. And these are really bad scissors. Okay, so I'm trying to have roots on the bottom side, on the lower part of the cutting, because it's with these roots that I'm going to work. The roots are present, but still quite fragile, so I must watch out. This is really good cutting. We already knew a side shoot, so this could become a cutting. I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is just like so. Is it on camera? It is almost. Now it is. So this is just a pot with a drainage screen. And I'm going to use the technique of a guy that I saw on the internet. It's a German, Detlef Romisch, I don't know if I pronounced that right. But the guy has a nice idea, and puts a plastic screen in the pot, so that the roots cannot grow straight down, but has to go on the side. And then, of course, well, you have a nice radial root spread, which is a very good idea, I must say. He does, however, a thing that I do not think is good. He does not put a whole lot of soil above, because this results in a problem. You have the trunk, and if you don't have soil under it, directly the plastic, well, the roots will go completely flat, or even try to go up, and then you have a very strange root base. So I think you can use this technique, but it is best to put a little layer of soil on the plastic and then put your trees in. So the thing is, now I can, or I should be able to arrange the cuttings by just putting them in the soil and already start a radial root pattern. Now, of course, this is not going to be easy, and I'm going to twist these roots around, but that's not a real problem, I think. They're just going to grow down, and anyway I'm going to push them down a little. So I'm going to try to fill this whole pot with cuttings, and already have cuttings with the roots in the direction that I wanted. So it might get a little tricky, but well, they will fall and then I will have to put them back, etc., etc. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes when this is done. So it didn't work at all. I need a new plan, and I think that maybe it might be a good idea just to put these trees in from small to big. So that's what I'm gonna do, from small to big. Now this is rather big, this is very big, and this is, well, it's quite big, yeah. Something in between, yeah. It's more this side. Oh, what's this? This is not good. Well, it's okay. This one here, there's a dead part. Like so. So why am I doing that? Because I'm going to try to take the longest and then arrange the other ones around it. But if you do something like that, you have to make sure that the longest is in the middle, because then it has some growth at the top, and this way you can assure that the tree gets light, because it will look like one tree, but it is absolutely not one tree. And another thing, when you do that, it's nice to have some outer branches. So I'm going to start with the big one, and then this one. Okay, only looking at the base now. So you see, this is already okay. So I want roots on the other side here, and then I want roots on the other side. So now I have roots here and here. I'll try to get me some roots here and on the back, like so. And I'll try to improve the root base by putting all the roots at the exterior way, I will say. So here the biggest root is there, so that's good. A root here, and where do I lack any? Yeah, maybe here, like so. So now I'm going to try to look at if this is what I want it to be, because, well, when you manipulate them, they move, of course. They won't stay where you think they should stay. Okay, I'm going to take my piece of wire, which comes in handy now because it's still laying here, and I'm just going to tie this together, and then I'm going to comb these roots. I think it's going to be much better than my original plan So 1 second. I'm also going to apply a second wire. Probably end up crushing some of the new growth, but it's going to be completely impossible to do otherwise. Things is, willows, they grow quite easily, they root quite easily, but these are not easy bonsai trees, because they have the absolutely unpleasant well, they die back a lot, so yeah, it's very rare to see a nice willow. So I'm going to treat this like a tree, like one tree. So I'm going to comb out these roots a little. Just checking if you can see something. Yeah. So if these roots grow in this direction and the trees fuse, well, this might already become a nice start. Yeah, I'm going to put this in the tray because it could become rather messy. Just making a little mountain here, trying to open this up. That's not bad. If these trees start to fuse, I can put a big piece of wire on it and start to create a shape. But the first thing is to get these trees growing well. Keep them healthy and well rooted, and I hope that all the trees will survive, because otherwise it's going to be an extra problem, and I have to find replacements for these trees, etc. Anyway, this is the branch I cut off. I'm just going to put it in here as a cutting, as a spare. So pushing the roots towards the edge of the pot as deep as possible, so that the roots don't grow upwards. And I'm going to fill it now with soil. And give it a good watering. So this is something that everyone can try easily. It looks like a tree. It is not. It's just a bunch of well, rooted cuttings. But if they fuse, well, I already will have a trunk thicker than my thumb. So that's a nice start. Probably the root base will look okay. That, of course, is if the trees grow. So you can try this at home. If you do it and you have a YouTube channel, please let me know. I'd love to see your movies. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. See you next time.